Welcome back to the Harshie Podcast.
Hi.
Hello.
I didn't. You didn't tell me what you wanted me to do.
That's great right there.
Hello.
Is it a new year, new you?
No. I think that the last 2 years have led to this new year. So
Gotcha.
It is not a new year, new me. I'm already been working on me. So it doesn't just happen automatically the first day of the year. How about you?
Yeah, I felt new immediately at 12:01 a.m. January 1st.
I did not feel new. I felt scared because someone did a firework out right outside the window.
Oh, yeah.
And I jumped and then cursed them.
Some punk teenager, probably.
Probably.
Some punk teenager or some drunk bastard.
Stop it. This is how we're going to start this one? Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, was it a nice, loving mom of 6 wearing her candy cane jammies, going out lighting fireworks in front of people's doors?
You are on to me. It was actually me. Yes. You know, anytime you say something like drunk bastard, it reminds me of you when you were when you were about 16 through 19. Yep. So
Yep.
You're really just dissing yourself.
Yeah, I was a man child in high school, so the first half of my junior year in high school, I was pretty much drunk all the time. So
that's really sad.
It was pretty bad.
It is.
Yeah, I'd be unhappy with my kids if they tried that.
Yeah, they won't.
No.
Well,
you would catch on to them if they tried something bad, and I just simply wouldn't believe them. So
I know.
Either way, they're screwed.
I pick up on energy, so they'll be like, "How do you know, Mom?" Be like, "Well, your aura right there to the right just told me what you were doing last night at 11:22." So, and your aura on the left, well, we won't even talk about that in front of your father.
And I just look at them and say, "What'd you do?" "I didn't do anything, Dad." "I know you did. Quit lying to me."
Just scare him into admission.
"I swear, Dad, I didn't do anything."
Oh, you know, that actually happened the other day. The bull, he was frustrated with his youngest sister, who, can you believe, is almost 3, beard baby, as they call her. And he was frustrated with her, so he poked her with a pencil. And all of a sudden she like screamed out. So I came around the corner. I'm like, "What happened?" I don't know. I didn't see." "What did you do to her?" "Nothing. I didn't do anything, Mom. I don't know." All of a sudden she was just, crying, and she's like sitting there sobbing, like, "Ow, ow, ow." And I'm trying to get out of her, what happened. And she's, 2. So that wasn't going very well. And it's like having a conversation with a drunk human being, because they're mumbling a lot, but you're not quite sure what they're saying.
I didn't see anything.
So I looked at him and I said, "I know you did something because you were frustrated with her, and then all of a sudden she screamed out in pain. So you do not look me in the face and lie right to me. What did you do?" And he was like, "I poked her with the pencil." I mean, I just made it so there was no way anything but the truth could come out of his mouth. And in the back of my mind, this is the thing about parenting. In the back of my mind, I was thinking, if I am wrong, how am I damaging this child by, treating him like he did something when he didn't do it, or treating him this way? So the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm questioning myself that I'm damaging him because, I'm accusing him of something or automatically treating him like he did something wrong. But luckily I was right. So any damage done is his own fault.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness
That
gracious.
That kid.
So you don't feel like it was a new year, new you right at 12:01, or you do?
Yeah, I feel like the old me just evaporated at midnight, and I became a new person, and new goals, new dreams, new memories.
Okay, so to be
new name.
To be fair, New Year's resolutions, I feel like we have to look it up. It started as a marketing campaign for gyms, probably, but
Oh yeah.
I will say there is something refreshing about a new year starting. It is refreshing in a way. I don't think that we should all just wait to start working on ourselves or our goals until a certain date. It's like waiting till Monday every week. And then by Sunday night, you're like, well, maybe next Monday. But I will say it is refreshing. And for me, it wasn't New Year's. It was Christmas Eve. You know, we had a lot of stress building up to the week before Christmas, just with Christmas and merchandise and a project deadline we had, and among other things, you know, children. And, you know, it came to a head on Christmas Eve, just all the emotions coming out. And I just, after a really good, ugly cry, I felt very cleansed of all of the frustrations and stress and betrayals and hurt from the last year. And I just had this feeling after this release that why can I not just every day from here on out, barring anything crazy happening, but just enjoy my life and my days and just try to find the best of it. You know, we worked really hard this year to set things up to be different for us in 2018. And I personally feel, I can feel it. I can see it, everything coming together and that shift happening. So why it wasn't like a new year, new me kind of feeling, it was I worked my ass off this year. I learned from a lot of mistakes and experiences, and I made different choices, and I've changed things. And some of those choices I made were hard to make, and some weren't as hard. And some of them had consequences, and some of them, you know, I had to deal with that. But I did them because I felt it was best for me and for our family and moving forward. And I feel like after doing all of that, taking all of that action, there is positivity and good changes coming from that. And I do feel that going into the new year. So it didn't just happen overnight or me just making some list of resolutions on, you know, New Year's Eve. It was literally a year almost of work to go into 2018 feeling like there was change, positive changes, and good things to come. And every single day will take action, whether it's taking action on work or it's taking action to slow down and take care of myself and give myself grace. But every single day I'm trying to be conscious about what is needed and being okay with how the day goes. There's nothing more that pisses me off than feeling like I wasted a day. You can talk into the microphone instead of just nodding your head at me constantly.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you. You're on a roll.
Thank you.
You're saying all the good stuff.
You know, I just despise when at the end of the day I look back and I realize, I really didn't get anything done, so I might as well have sat on the couch and cuddled my kids and watched a movie or whatnot, because that's probably what subconsciously I really wanted to do, but I wasn't allowing myself to do that because I felt I needed to work or I needed to do this or I needed to do that. And I had a lot of days like that this last year, and that doesn't help my anxiety. It doesn't help with depression. And it just has not helped with my mental health. And so I think every day we've kind of been checking in with each other and just, it's okay if we go easier. It's okay if we calm down. It's, you know, we had, I would say about a month ago, our older kids were watching Central Intelligence, right? With The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
It's actually a really funny movie. And I came into the family room from doing something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And you were standing there watching a scene. So I stood there next to you and watched the scene. And then the next thing I realized was we had been standing there almost 10 minutes watching this movie. And I just kind of had an epiphany that we weren't giving ourselves permission to just sit down on our couch and watch this movie with our kids. We didn't even feel that it was okay for us to relax and to watch a movie. So we were standing there watching it anyways, but not fully committing to just letting go and enjoying ourselves and relaxing. We weren't fully committed. In the back of our minds, we were thinking we shouldn't be watching this. We should be doing something else. We should be taking care of this responsibility or that responsibility. And that was a big moment for me. Was about a month ago.
Yeah,
It was a big moment for me because I realized like we do this all the time. And when you're a business owner, especially when you're mixing your passion with business, it is very hard to let go, to turn off your phone, to not be available 24/7, to sit down and allow yourself to rest because, this hustle mindset. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but we need to know when to turn it off, because what is the point of all this if we're not enjoying our lives? Like, what is the point of working for ourselves if we never feel it's okay to just sit down and watch a movie with our kids? Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. I think a big part of it for us was the end of 2016. We were reflecting on that year and looking at a bunch of things we wanted to change and that we planned on changing. And I think for pretty much everyone, 2016 was just hell of a year. The election and all that. It was just a big, huge
it was really
mess.
bad.
And so we went into 2017 ready, for a big year, for a big change. And last January was an incredibly brutal month for us. And it set us behind the 8 ball in the sanity department, especially for me. And we were just playing catch up in every aspect of our life.
That was
the
when
whole year.
PayPal froze our account for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
PayPal, which most of our income at the time came in through PayPal, and they froze our account. And
no reason whatsoever.
No reason. And it took me, I think, 2.5 months to finally get someone on the phone who knew what they were doing. And he said, there's no reason this should have happened. I'm so sorry. But then they still needed all this information to unfreeze our account. So all of January, we had no access to money.
Yeah, we basically had no money the whole month. And
it's not funny.
No, it's not, because it's literally the whole year
Funny,
up
not
until
funny.
recently we have been playing catch up with everything. And
and that's the thing, is it snowballed from there, and we didn't handle it well. You know,
and there's some other things that happened, and then my mental health became a huge mess, and it was just a disaster. And so the last few months we've really been working hard to change everything for this year to be more of what we wanted last year to be. And it's
but with our eyes open.
With our eyes open, with a lot
different.
of experience, with a lot more notches of experience in our belt. And it feels like, okay, this is working the way we've been planning, and things are looking pretty exciting for 2018. And we can't say much about what those are now, but you'll agree later in the year. But
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I am personally just fired up about this year.
I am too.
Another thing that has really helped us is that because we had such a frantic year and felt like we were behind the 8 ball the whole time, we never relaxed. And so that example Never. So that example of Central Intelligence coming down and watching that scene, and then next thing you know, it's 10, 15 minutes still standing there instead of just sitting down and relaxing. We've finally been doing that the last couple weeks because it's Christmas time, New Year's, nothing really happens around this time
and
of
everybody's
year anyways.
Lost between the week of Christmas and New Year's. No one knows what's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean,
what day it is.
I didn't know what day it was
I didn't
half
either.
the time last week. What day is it today? Is it Wednesday? No, it's Friday. What? That doesn't make sense.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. And so
But we don't usually, like last year, I don't know, we don't let ourselves enjoy it. And we did. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we gave ourselves permission to enjoy it, to actually relax.
And we did it. We didn't just say we were going to, we did.
Right. And to maybe do things that we enjoy. Like I enjoy writing. I enjoy playing the guitar. But
I enjoy sleeping.
Yeah, I like sleeping too.
Sleeping more.
I've never been good at it,
I
but I'm
love
starting
it.
to get a little bit better. A little bit better at it.
I've been sleeping and drinking coffee like nonstop.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been doing a lot of.
I'm actually drinking coffee right now.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I have
coffee's good.
I have coffee and I have no bra on. So basically, I'm in my heaven right now.
Yeah. So we came to the conclusion that when January's wearing a bra, she's a little bit more serious in the podcast. When she's not wearing a bra, those are some of our better episodes.
Hey, if the girls aren't happy, no one's happy.
And I personally prefer no bra because, husband, easy access, that sort of thing.
Do you realize how distracted you became from what you were saying? You were so nice and not distracting me, and I have distracted you horribly.
Yeah, now I'm just thinking about your boobs. So. What was I even saying?
I don't know. One thing. Okay, here we go. So one thing that I realized I do is, again, instead of enjoying today, I let today get ruined thinking about the work I need to do tomorrow or the bill I have to pay 4 days from now. Something like that.
Right.
So it's, this whole idea, and we've talked about this a little bit, how in the past is gone forever. You learn from it and you got to let it go. Like it's literally gone forever, you guys. You can't get it back. It's gone. It will never exist again. But living in the future causes just as many problems. That's where the anxiety and worry lies, the stress.
Absolutely.
And I used to be really good about living in the moment, not forgetting to have a good time, being more spontaneous. And then, I had kids. That kind of changes things. And the more children I've had, the harder it's been for me to do that. And so I'm working my way backwards. And I've let go of trying to get back to, I'm doing air quotes, but back to feeling a certain way because, January before kids, like I will never be that January again, or January before social media, never be that again.
Get your body back.
Well, yeah, exactly. The same kind of concept,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you can't, you'll never be the same again, but I can find that place of peace and being spontaneous and being happy again by just focusing on the present and today as much as possible. Sometimes you do have to do work today to benefit tomorrow or the future, whatever. But I'm just saying, to the point of stressing about it, that I can't even enjoy today or do the work that I'm good at or want to do because I'm so stressed out about something else. So I'm trying to stay present in the moment of, hey, I want to work on this today because I love it. Another thing too about allowing ourselves to relax and take a break is that's when the creativity flows again for me.
Me too.
Yeah. And the ideas and just being inspired when you're constantly bogged down with worry and stress and you're doing 15 things at once all day long. It's really hard to find that place of inspiration and creativity. And when we give ourselves permission to step back and take a break or rest, sleep, self-care, it's amazing how quickly that can flow again. That inspiration, that creativity, being able to hear your intuition and be in tune with your purpose, and for example, the other day I was on Instagram and I can't remember what I was thinking, but I think I just saw some things. I was thinking about sponsors, and how I'm just really over sponsored. That's what it was. I'm really overdoing sponsored posts. Like I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like, it's not that I don't like being accountable to somebody else, but I don't like being accountable to somebody else. That is what it is. I'm just going to own it. I don't want to have to worry about posting something at a certain time in a certain way. And then, I don't know. And I didn't start Birth Without Fear and then take back postpartum and Don't Forget Dads in January, my own Instagram, to do sponsored posts. I started them because I wanted to help people. That's what I've always wanted to do. I wanted to help people heal. That's actually what I used to tell you all the time years ago. Like when you would ask me, what do you want to do? I want to help people heal. And I didn't know at the time that it would manifest this way, but that's okay. We don't always, even though we want to do something, you don't always know how it's going to come into fruition. That's why you just have to keep doing the work and then the way will be shown to you. So I was thinking, gosh, I didn't start this for that. I didn't start this to do an ad or a sponsor post or even merchandise. I didn't start any of these platforms other than to just have a voice and to share my voice and empower other people to have their voice and to help people to feel empowered and to heal and to get information. And there are so many other women out there like me who have a passion, but also have a family to take care of. And they want to work their passion. Isn't that the dream? Isn't that what we're all told? Self-help books and, motivational speakers.
Do what you love. You never have to work another day in your life.
Yeah, that is fucking bullshit. I don't know if you want to bleep that out or make this explicit. I don't care. But that is fucking bullshit. Even when you are doing what you love, it is work. And when you are a mom... Is my face red? When you are
very red.
When you are a mom and you have a passion or you're working that passion or you're doing any kind of work, it's work. It is. Yes, it will be incredible to be able to do what you love, to use your talents, to be doing what you're passionate about. But if you're going to make it a business, it is work. And it's more work.
Yeah.
It is more work. I have thought so many times last year, you know what? I could just go get a job for someone. Well, maybe not with my hand tattoo. That's a job stopper, but that's another story. But I can go get a job with someone, go to work in the morning, do my work, go home and just be with my kids. Because what I do, it doesn't turn off in my brain. Like I'm always thinking about how I can help people, what I can do, you know, how I can be original, like all these things. It is work. Okay. Oh, let me just take a minute. Okay. Calm down. So I was thinking about this, and as you can see, I feel very, very passionate about my fellow women and mothers who own small businesses. And the struggle is real getting yourself out there, and
The struggle is insane.
it is.
And doing what you love doesn't mean that you're never going to work. What it is doing what you love means that you're willing to do as much work as it takes to be able to do what you love.
Exactly.
It means you're willing to work the 15, 16-hour days or grind it out, do whatever you have to. I mean, I graduated chiropractic school. I walked on the stage August 15th of 2009. It wasn't until August 13th of 2011 I actually finally had some sense of semblance of success as a chiropractor. Nearly 2 years to the day.
Plus all the school before that.
Yeah, and in a few weeks before then, I was even questioning myself, thinking, wow, did I pick the wrong profession? I don't know that I can actually make a living as a chiropractor. I really think I screwed up with my life. And then all of a sudden, I had that success, but I never quit. I kept working. You just have to keep going, have your mind set on what you want and be unwilling to compromise on it. And it's going to suck for a long time until you get to it.
It's always darkest right before you get to the light. I remember saying that to you earlier this year, and it ended up being very true. But
yes.
You just expressed that much more calmly than I did. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even use the word fuck. Wait, I just did. Fuck.
You're such a dork. Oh, man. Oh, so I was thinking about this and about all of the other women and knowing, just seeing them, just really seeing them and knowing their passion and their struggle. And I just wanted to help. I didn't want anyone to have to part with their money to just share what they're doing. So I shared a few of my friends and their businesses, because I swear all of us at this point are, you know, just the world we live in right now, needing to work and provide for our families.
Yeah.
And so I shared a few of my friends, Natalie Hodson, Lynn Manning, and Amy Updike. I shared about them and what they do. And that's where the idea came from, is all this line of thought and sharing what they do and thinking, I just need to do this. If I can, why not?
Yeah.
I have a platform, and our community, like the community with January Harshey, especially on Instagram, is, I mean, I don't know if there's any other community that compares to it, because we all expect more of ourselves. We all want a better world, but we all give each other a lot of grace and a lot of love. You know, these debates I see break out on other people's stuff, just can never even imagine it in my space.
I can't imagine having the time to sit there and debate.
But it wouldn't happen in my space. And so why not use that space, and why not share with our community each other? You know, I'm just kind of the middleman there, just saying, hey, you know, Karen that follows me, meet Amy that follows me, and you guys might be able to connect and help each other out, you know? And so that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing small women-owned, probably mostly mom-owned businesses in my story on Instagram. And then now that you can have saved highlight reels for your stories, I can save them. I probably will for like a month, so that they stay on there for like 30 days. Because I think with the amount of DMs I'm getting in the last 48 hours, that there's going to be quite a few shared, which is awesome. But my whole point in sharing this is just sharing the fact that me relaxing and giving myself permission to kind of step back from being busy, you know, the art of being busy. It just inspired me to do something like this, because I just want to give back, because I just want to be supportive. This year I let a lot of my ego go, and maybe a few years ago I wouldn't have done this. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm almost 39-year-old January would slap 29-year-old January in the face and be like, woman, get your head out of your butt. Everything's fine. This isn't a competition. Her success doesn't hurt me. It actually helps me. Every time a woman is successful, that does great things for women in general. So I want to see more of that. I want to see more of us being supported and succeeding and, living our dreams while we're doing this hard work to do that. Just that.
Yeah, it's hard being a parent. It's hard being a parent and a business owner.
It's hard being a business owner, and it is hard being a parent, and then you put the two together, and I don't think there's a word for how hard that is.
No, because we've been doing it for 7 years now, and it's incredibly rewarding, incredibly fun, but incredibly difficult, incredibly challenging. And so
it's very easy to feel alone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel like you're the only one going through this struggle.
I read last year. I read Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. A really good book. And at one point, he was talking about being an entrepreneur and how it can make you feel like you are bipolar to such an extent because there's so many ups and downs when you're an entrepreneur. And he doesn't even have kids. He's not even married, doesn't even have kids. So you throw that in there, and you can imagine how crazy it is. And then if you're someone like me who actually has bipolar disorder, wow, it's...
Oh, goodness.
Just imagine. It's a crazy time. But on the other hand, we're both the type of people that can't work for other people. I just can't. I've had like 23 different jobs in my life. And I just have the hardest time working for other people. And I just have no one else I want to work with, except for you. And we work well together.
People, yeah, we do. And we're those kind of people that, no, I can't just sit here to make whatever an hour. Like I have to use my brain. I have to use my creativity. I have to use the gifts that I have, and my capacity. And when I started Birth That Fear, it was never meant to be, it was just meant to be a space to share information because it wasn't being shared at the time. There was nothing like it. And it's one of those see a need, feel a need, robots in the movie Robots. Yeah. I love robots. I saw a need. And so I filled that need. When I started speaking and then holding my own events and everything, it got turned into an actual business and quite an amazing one. But it doesn't mean that there's been struggle with that for sure. There's been amazing success and amazing struggles and everything in between. And I really loved when you shared what Tim Ferriss wrote because I found solidarity in that. It's like, oh, I'm not the only one. Kind of like when you see a parent's toddler melting down at the grocery store, you're like, oh, it's not just me. Okay, cool. Like, you need to.
That gives me so much comfort to see that. You don't even believe. So if I ever see you at the grocery store and you are struggling and your kids are screaming and you're hating your life, just know that you're giving me comfort.
Yeah, because I would have to point that out to Brandon when our kids were young. I'm like, do you see them? We're not the only ones. But it's the same thing with, owning a business as well is I find comfort. Like, I don't know, Brandon, we talk about this all the time that we don't know anyone like us.
No.
I don't know anyone like us that does everything, like things the way we do them, has 6 children, business owners, like our relationship. Like, I just don't know anyone like us. So I don't have anyone that I look up to specifically. So, when I find just things from different people, I take that inspiration from them to just know I'm not alone.
Well, I think that's what it is you take the best parts of different people that you see and different examples from different role models, and it's really hard to find someone like us.
I think it's humbling. Like, I don't put anybody on a pedestal because I don't want anyone to put me on a pedestal because, honey, I will fall right off that pedestal onto my face at some point and disappoint you because I'm human.
Well, look at some of the, someone like The Rock. There's no one like him. He has no one around him to inspire him to do the things he wants to do. He just does what he wants to do. Arnold Schwarzenegger was like that back in the day. Just any successful person that people look up to, they are doing things in their own way that works for them, and that's how it is. I don't.
So find pieces of things from different people that inspire you, but don't idolize them.
Yeah.
Just find solidarity with them.
Right. I don't think I have any one person who I just really want to emulate everything they're doing in their life. That's just maybe when I was a teenager, I did. I think that's kind of how it is when you're, back then. It's like, oh, hey, I want to be a rock star, or want to be an actor, or that sort of thing. I want to be like this person. But as you get older and you start realizing your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your own likes, your own dislikes, it's hard to feel that way about any one person. Because who knows what some of those people are struggling with. Maybe that's something you struggle with, and vice versa. So, I just think taking the best parts of things that we see and molding them into our lives to add to ourselves and add to what we can do and what we can offer others is the way to do it.
So I like to try to keep it as real as possible on social media. Here's a picture of my toddler ruining my bathroom while I have no pants on and my hair is not brushed. And she used my toothbrush after eating an Oreo. Awesome. Cause that's just
so gross.
It is so gross. It is so gross, but it's just the freaking truth. Like, how many of you guys listening to this, if you listed what your kids did today, you'd be like, no, I'm not putting that on Instagram. Because right now that sounds crazy, but it's kind of like when I've talked about, like, when we suffer from postpartum depression or this or that, like, we aren't alone in it, even though it feels alone. That goes for being a business owner, for being parents, for, everything is, it's very easy to feel like you're the only one feeling the way you're feeling or having the struggle that you're having.
That's another good point too, is we were just talking about business and, role models and things like that. But when it comes to parenting, it's the same thing. Everyone has their own parenting views. And I don't think there are too many people that are alike in every single aspect of parenting that they do. I mean, it's just not possible.
No way.
Just because we're all raised differently and come from different backgrounds. And
we have social media now where anyone can have a social media presence. And I've talked about this, about being mindful about who you follow and what you watch and what you're part of. And this goes for every aspect of your life, whether it's fitness or the way you eat or the way you parent or, just anything. Just be really mindful of what you're taking in and find things or people that inspire you and take the good and then do you. Then be you, be original. There's so many people copying other people or, doing the same thing as other people. And that's cool, when something is like, awesome and, it gets popular, whatever. But it's also really boring. And, I don't want to see the same thing 15 different ways. I want to see what's unique about you.
Yeah.
What makes you stand out? What's unique about you? What can you offer that somebody else can't? Because you do have something unique about you. You do have something that, others would find relatable. And so, focus on that. This is going to turn into like a whole business jam sesh here. Keep going. But you know what I mean is, find that about yourself. Like for me, there's nobody else that I know that's, plus size and loving themselves to health and has 6 kids and homeschools and own a business and speaks. And, so I'm not going to go and try to be like somebody else with a big Instagram and be like, oh gosh, but they have 300,000 followers. So maybe I should do stuff like them. No, they have that because of them. And I'd rather have a very authentic, strong village than just spam, likes or follows or whatever, or, whatever it is. And, what makes me unique, and let me just focus on that. I don't need to focus on what Pam is doing. Like, that's cool for Pam, but I'm not Pam. I'm January. So,
fuck off, Susan.
Stop. It's great, Pam. But what makes
Pamela?
You know what? You just had to bring up the Logan thing, didn't you?
Oh my gosh. I couldn't resist.
I posted about it. Well, by the time you listen to this, I posted about it a few days ago. This thing that everybody that has a platform doesn't automatically make them a good person.
No.
And this is why I talk so much about being mindful with social media. Like, you need to approach social media with self-care in mind. You need to be good with yourself so you're not projecting yourself on other people, but then, don't follow other people that make you feel bad about yourself too. Like, it's okay to do both. I don't know that I want to talk about it. People can go read the post.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
No, you're cute.
Oh. I have a hard time when I just see stuff on social media. I'm very mindful usually about like what I read, what I watch.
Mm-hmm.
Don't read the comments, because when I start to read a thread or start to see something and I'm like, wow, this is really how people are acting. Because in my space, we don't act like that. Like in Mama J's house, we don't act like that. Like,
well, no, because you're a very intentional social media user, and you have very specific purposes for what you post and say. You know, not everyone does. A lot of people do things for shock value and likes and followers and monetizing this and that. And the differences are apparent, and I like your way better.
well, thank you. And that's not even what this is about. To me, it's not about me doing anything better than anyone else. I just want
Oh, I didn't say better. I'm just saying that you're just trying. You're coming at things from a more intentional point of view, trying to bring some good into the world.
Is this where I should just say thank you?
You should just say thank you.
Thank you. I feel like we have this incredible gift with social media that we can use it to do so much good. And when I see the majority of people using it just for personal gain or just for that shock value or people tearing each other down, it breaks my heart, actually.
What about when they use it for memes?
I think that's wonderful. Can you imagine if all social media was just memes?
Oh my gosh, I'd be in heaven. If you follow me on social media, you realize I've just been doing all memes as of late. And man, I've been having so much fun doing it.
I know. I'll ask the kids, where's Dad? Oh, he's on his phone making a meme. Like there's worse things that they could say Dad was doing. So, all right.
Hey, if they make me laugh, I post them.
So what else is on your mind for the new year?
Well, not a whole lot that I can reveal at this moment because we have secrets.
I know. And, we have to stop teasing those because at some point people are going to be like, are you going to share anything?
I will say we are wrapping up the rest of merchandise from the past month or so. Shipping does take 4 to 6 weeks. So if it's been 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, you haven't gotten your item yet. It's because it says 4 to 6 weeks for a reason.
And it was Christmas.
And it was Christmas.
So don't send me a rude DM.
Yeah.
Just don't.
We are doing our damnedest to get this all out. I will say that merchandise is something that may be phasing out because it doesn't fit into our long-term goals.
I want to help other people.
Yeah, we have secrets.
Do stuff like that.
We have secrets.
What are you talking about? What?
We have secrets, but they're not skeletons in our closet, so that's good.
No, we're minimalists.
Although I am a
much more.
chiropractor, I do have a spine
That is true.
down in the garage.
That was something I was going to bring up earlier.
That guy didn't pay me, and now I have his spine.
Are you? I think it's time to wrap this podcast up. I really do. I think we're done. I think on Brandon's note of having Bob's spine.
I would do that sometimes in practice with people. They look at it and be like, is that spine real? I'm like, yeah, that guy didn't pay me. And they like look up at me like with these wide eyes. I'm like, it's a joke. It's plastic.
Why would someone think that's
I don't. Well, back in the day, they used to be real. 60, 70, 80 years ago, that was a common thing. But yeah, that was always a good fun joke for me.
Your
This
jokes.
chiropractor's a psycho.
Your jokes are usually not funny to anyone but you. Just so you know.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
You're laughing at me right now.
Well, I'm really excited for this year. I just feel it. I feel good energy for all of us, for all of you that are listening, for me and Brandon and our family. I can feel it so much that I can almost see it. Just the shift and the good things to come and an amazing, fun year. I felt this way when I was 35. And I think that 39 and 40 are going to be like that too. And I'm just really super excited about it. And for all of you that have been part of my online community for quite a few years now, thank you for just being there and supporting me and giving me grace and celebrating with me when things are awesome and giving me love when things are hard, because that's what this is all about. That's what this is for. So I really appreciate you guys, and I'm excited to celebrate more with you in 2018. So
It's going to be a fun year.
it is. All right, you guys. So stay tuned, because I think our next 2 podcasts are going to be about ugly self-care, which I recently started talking about, and why I am alcohol free.
Yes.
So that's going to be an interesting one too. So I hope that you enjoyed today's podcast and got a little something out of it. I'm not even quite sure what we talked about, but it must have been something.
We talked about stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Or something.
All right. Well, until next time, love y'all.
Adios.